Hey guys, Tanna here with the first Shining Beyond video. Okay, before we get into the game, we have to start downloading the game, and I am aware that some of you might not be able to do it because you're out of the region. So players from United States, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Philippines are able to download it directly via the Play Store, which I did it actually. I'm actually from Singapore, which is pretty cool because I just realized that Shining Beyond is actually made by a Singaporean company. So this is the first gacha game that I'm playing that, you know, is kind of like supporting our local talent. So okay, anyway, I digress. As you can see that I'm already in the game, so there's a couple of options here. So I'm gonna cover this in a bit. So importantly, let's start off by where to actually download them. So if you're out of the region and you can't actually download them via the Play Store, okay, Shining Beyond. So if you can't actually download from here, there's a couple of options. Okay, so the first app that I recommend would be Q app. Okay, we just close this. Shining Beyond. So if Q app actually uploaded this, then you will be able to download this. As of recording, we have only pre-register, but if you know anytime when you are watching this video and this is up, Q app is one of my go-to. But right now they have not actually uploaded this yet. Otherwise, the second option would be APK Pure, which is right here. I believe they actually have the APK already. You can actually go to APK Pure and then search for Shining Beyond. Shining Beyond. I'm not sure why is it not here now. It's really weird. Okay, if you don't have it, then you just go to Google and then just type APK Pure Shining Beyond and you should be able to see it. Okay, the version right now is actually 1.0.6, I believe. So if this doesn't work, you can actually try another website, which I will cover it in a bit. Alternatively, you can actually use VPN to actually access to the Play Store, which in my opinion is a lot more troublesome than just directly downloading the APK itself. One thing to highlight that the open beta test is only available for Android users only, so I am so sorry for iOS users. I'm not actually sure when the game is actually releasing. When the time comes, then iOS users will have access to the game and they have a new server. But if you're like myself, you can't wait, you know, you can actually try using an emulator or get an Android device to actually start playing, which is a complaint, of course. I mean, you kind of lock out certain regions and also certain platform users, you know, iOS and you know the rest of the world. This is probably due to some legal issue, and we're not here to talk about that today. So another website, okay, let me just go to the website. Okay, it's this website called apkcombo.com. It's a Russian website, so if you want, you can actually use Chrome and then auto translate, and you can actually read all these. It's just instructions on how to actually install them. So select your device, you know, phone, and then if you know the architect, then you just select this. But okay, I actually have Google Translate installed, so you can actually say, okay, this is default, so Android default. Okay, and this is also default. So if you want, you can actually see this. Okay, so how to download, Okay, wait, this how to download. This is APK installer, how to start. Okay, so you can actually follow this instruction. But I believe the APK is just here. Okay, you can actually download from here. So if you can't wait, if you are watching this already, you know, you can actually do this. Okay, so that is the whole video of how to download. So I want to talk about something else other than this today, before I start playing the game, which are the changes happening in open beta test. You know, ever since the closed beta test, they actually made some changes. So let me at least go back to the game. You know, at least we have a nicer background to talk about the game. Okay, so the main changes is there are no more VIP system, which is the biggest complaint in most gacha players. Okay, so they kind of probably listen to the player base, and the gacha rate boosted to 5%, which is a lot, you know, even based on other gacha. You know, the SSR rate is 5%, up from, I heard it was like 0.3%. I did not actually play the closed beta test, so that's why I heard 0.3% is abysmal. 5% is really generous, so I guess they are trying to listen to the player base, you know, listening to the feedback and then just applying it to the closed open beta test, and then probably make some changes after that and then do the launch. Okay, so there isn't much information, so I only found this website, which is racketrenegade.com, which contains some information. Okay, so the number one thing, which is probably the most interesting thing to note, is the hero job title tree. Okay, but if you look at this page, right, it feels kind of like King's Raid-ish. I don't know. It's kind of like It just reminds me of King's Raid. The character art, the way they display the game as well. Okay, but interestingly, they have hero job tree. This is actually the first time I've seen a gacha game with some sort of a selection. Okay, I'm not sure how permanent the selection is, or if you will be able to get, you know, extended jobs in later in the game, but so far, this is how it is. So there are a total of 4 jobs expanded into 2 each. So the 4 jobs we have Fire, Acolyte, Archer, and Rogue. And then each job can actually expand into 2. So after Squire, you can actually evolve your character to a Zealot or a Crusader, which expand into another 3 options. So Samurai, Holy Knight, Dark Templar for your Zealot or Squire. Or your Squire can actually go to Crusader and then evolve into Dark Templar, Dragoon, or Paladin, which is pretty interesting, I would say. So a total of 6 advanced tier, as you can see right here: Zealot, Crusader, Cleric, Mage, Ranger, Assassin, and then 12 expert tier classes. Okay, the ones right here. So they further elaborate job basic tier. Your character come off the bat with one of the jobs available, and every character have, you know, 5 choices. So your Squire could actually be Samurai, Holy Knight, Dark Templar, Dragoon, or Paladin, you know, depending on what your team needs, I believe. Okay, the beyond skills. So the path that you branch out also matters, because if your Squire actually goes to Zealot and then goes to Dark Templar, you acquire the Squire skills, Zealot skills, and then Dark Templar skills. But if you actually choose path B, Squire, Crusader, Dark Templar, so it probably becomes more tankish. I don't know, I'm not really sure, but it feels like more tankish because Crusader, and then it goes to Dark Templar. So you wouldn't get the Zealot skill, and vice versa, you will not get the Crusader skill if you choose path A, which explains here in the image. Okay, skills, so Zealot skills and then Crusader skills, they are just different. Okay, so maybe this one is the same, but this one right here would be different. So they actually explain here. So if you're interested, you can actually read this guide here. Okay, the skills are as usual. Interesting one also I want to highlight is this pre-battle grand trials. Okay, so before starting the battle, after you probably can clear one time, and then you have the option to actually select things like all hero stats minus 50%, you know, you get extra battle rewards. Then all enemy stats plus 50%, Grand Trials 2, and then all hero resist minus 25% in Grand Trials 3. So all the multipliers, it kind of reminds me of Path of Exile. Path of Exile maps, they actually have modifier for increased rewards, so this is the same thing. So the higher the risk, the greater the rewards. So this is how it is. So if you select just hero stats, then you get a 4-star chest, 5-star chest, and then 6-star chest if you select all of them, which is actually pretty interesting. You know, it kind of makes the game challenging. It's kind of like Diablo as well, all the modifiers. You know, the higher the stage, the better rewards. And then the levels. Okay, so randomly generated levels. So in this game, they have randomly generated dungeons. So it's kind of like a roguelike dungeon game, but this is actually a gacha game with a randomly generated map. Okay, so same mission may be pieced together differently like this. Okay, so you would say that every battle is different, and thankfully they actually still have like auto battle, auto navigation, I think. Yeah, okay, so they can auto navigate, they can auto use skills, which is how we gacha players are playing our games. Okay, then I think the battle is active and not turn-based. So as you can see right here, you can actually choose where to go and things like that. And if in a co-op, your friends can actually go wherever they want to. They don't have to follow you as the leader. And then battle scene, okay, focus fire, okay, these are pretty standard stuff. And then event rooms, okay, this is pretty interesting. I think this is randomly generated. So RNG, you get a chance to get a chest challenge, which grants you even more reward during your farming process. They have different things in the event room as well. So they have like chest challenge, they have NPC assistant, and shrines. So I believe these are actually pretty fun. It looks pretty fun actually. Objective system, okay, clear the 3 stars and things like that. Another thing to highlight is the co-op. Okay, it looks interesting. This is actually in real time, so your friend can join you in real time. You can arrange with your guildmate or things like that, and then you guys can go in together. It looks very interesting, but it kind of looks also a little messy at the same time. Imagine you have a full team with your 2 other friends, so 3 players, 12 characters all together in one map. I don't know how it works. It looks like a huge mess, but really fun at the same time. I don't know how it works out, but I'm really looking forward to this. This part looks really like King's Raid, okay, how they display the characters. Even like, you know, the non-human characters are displayed here. Okay, these are the leveling. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Okay, it looks very like the typical gacha, how you level up your character. You know, they have gear slots, things like that. You guys are probably familiar with all these, you know, like dupes, rings, gears, and item management, etc. Okay, this one is not in all gacha, but it's very fan service-ish. So you get to interact with your waifu or husbando, whoever that you desire. You'll be able to interact with them. Probably you can increase the relationship or something like that. I'm not sure. And then next we have Arena, which is PvP. I don't think there's like guild PvP yet, but probably in the future they probably have something in mind. This looks very King's Raid-ish, okay, but it's not turn-based or active-based. And okay, the rewards. Okay, I think you can probably choose your opponent as usual. Sometimes you don't get to choose your opponent in gacha games, PvP. Ladder. Okay, so this is what they have in mind. Campaign, dungeon, okay, story, they have like material dungeon, and then I'm not sure what's this, domination, probably PvP, and then war raid. Okay, I think this might be guild raid, something like that. Okay, the pretty standard stuff here, and then the world map looks typical. Okay, and the home screen also looks like King's Raid, kind of. I'm not sure if you can, but the King's Raid one is actually kind of like 3D-ish. This is kind of 2D with 3D character, and that's about it, I think. So yeah, really interesting so far. I'm gonna probably dive into the game and see how it goes. Anyway, I kind of accidentally muted my first recording. I have to actually redo everything, but so anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Shining Beyond content. I'm probably gonna do a first impression, maybe a reroll guide later on in the day. I try to cram as much as I can in a day. You guys know that I'm pretty slow at uploading stuff, but today's the launch. I try to do it as soon as possible. If this guide helped, please leave a like and comment below what trouble you have. Probably someone in the comment would be able to help you. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.